Philippe Clement raging about new Hamza Igamane development at Rangers. Mccoist tells Rangers fans to pipe down over Celtic claim. Philippe Clement goes against way he wants to play football to make Rangers tactics change. Lyon in crisis ahead of Rangers clash as Romania chief worried about Hagi. Rangers wanted to sign £20 million star in the making, but Beale got Clement instead. Before I spill the beans, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around until the end so you don't miss any of the nitty-gritty details. Philippe Clement was reportedly furious after Hamza Igamane's unexpected absence from Rangers' Europa League opener against Malmo. The Moroccan forward, who had been expected to play, was unavailable due to a visa issue, according to Daryl Curry. The Light Blues still managed a comfortable 2-0 victory in Sweden, but the last-minute documentation problem threw a spanner in the works for Clement's plans. The Belgian manager had apparently trained all week with Igamane in mind, only for the 21-year-old to be pulled out of the match due to issues with his Schengen visa. Speaking on the Scottish Football Social Club, Curry explained, Hamza Igamane started against Hibs but couldn't play in Sweden because they didn't sort out a visa in time. Philippe Clement was furious about that, and no wonder because he can't afford to lose more players. Although the situation didn't cost Rangers points on the night, it was an avoidable frustration. Cyril Desires was brought into the starting lineup last minute, a change that might have thrown off the team's preparations. Desires, who received some criticism for his performance, was Clement's fallback option. But the manager is clearly eager to avoid similar situations moving forward. Derek Clark of Rangers Review highlighted that Moroccan nationals must apply for a Schengen visa before traveling to Sweden, and Rangers had ample time to manage this. Fortunately, Igamane was able to start in the next match against Hibernian on 29 September, but the episode has certainly raised concerns. With the Rangers aiming to make significant progress in the Europa League following their disappointing exit from the Champions League, Clement will need all his players available and fit for action in the coming fixtures. Mccoist has had to set the record straight with Rangers fans who were up in arms over what they believed was him overlooking the club's famous 2022 win over Borussia Dortmund. The Ibrox legend, who was hosting the breakfast show on TalkSport, received a torrent of abuse from fellow Rangers supporters after a discussion about Celtic's poor record in Germany. With Brendan Rodgers' side preparing to face Dortmund in the Champions League, Mccoist mentioned that Celtic had never won on German soil, highlighting their dismal run of 9 losses in 11 visits. However, it seems that some Rangers fans misunderstood his comment, thinking he had completely ignored their club's historic 4-2 triumph over Dortmund under Giovanni van Bronckhorst. The criticism clearly got to Mccoist, who took a moment on air to address the situation, defending himself against the accusations. I didn't say a Scottish team, Mccoist clarified, adding that his comment was solely focused on Celtic's poor form in Germany. He jokingly told his critics to pipe down and stop giving him dog's abuse. It's no surprise that the Rangers faithful are quick to jump to the defense of their beloved club, especially when it comes to comparing records with Celtic. Van Bronckhorst's victory in Germany was a high point in recent European campaigns, and any hint of it being downplayed was bound to ruffle a few feathers. Mccoist, however, has made it clear that his remarks were strictly about Celtic, not Rangers, so hopefully that will calm things down. Philippe Clement has made some tactical tweaks to bring more consistency to Rangers after a stuttering start to the season, with 3 points being the main priority following a tough Europa League trip. The win over Hibernian was crucial, even if Tom Lawrence's fine strike was the only real moment of quality in a scrappy game. Clement, known for his adaptability, has adjusted his approach while sticking to a core philosophy, as midfielder Kieran Dowell recently explained. Dowell highlighted that Clement's key principle is attacking football, with an emphasis on playing forward. When asked about fans' frustrations with Vaclav Cerny during the Hibs game, where he appeared to slow down a promising attack, Dowell suggested it might have been a momentary decision due to fatigue, but stressed that Clement's intent is always to push forward. Dowell said, "We all know coming to this club that the demand is to play forward, score goals and attack. The manager shares that mindset. There are moments in games where control is needed, but the philosophy here is to keep moving forward." Clement's adjustments reflect this balance. While his philosophy isn't about simply launching long balls, He insists on quick transitions and bravery in possession, urging his midfielders to move the ball swiftly through the lines. As seen in the victory over Malmo, this approach can work well when executed properly. During the match against Hibs, with some players clearly showing signs of fatigue, Clement adapted his tactics to maintain control of the game. He's shown himself to be pragmatic when needed, adjusting based on the opposition and circumstances to ensure the team can still come out on top. Rangers are set to welcome French side Lyon to Ibrox for their second match in the Europa League, but their opponents arrive in a state of disarray. Lyon's experienced goalkeeper, Anthony Lopes, has publicly criticized the club after being cast out of the first-team setup despite having nearly 500 appearances for the League One side. Lopez, who has yet to feature this season, has expressed his frustration, claiming he's received no explanation for his exclusion. He stated, "I don't understand any of this, and no one has criticized my performances. It's extremely difficult for me to accept. If I had known this was coming, I would have left long ago. I'm available to play, but if not, I want a new challenge as soon as possible." Meanwhile, Romanian FA President Razvan Berleanu has voiced concerns about the situation of Hagi at Rangers. Hagi, who spent last season on loan at Alaves, has struggled to find his way into Felipe Clement's plans and has been playing for the B team. Berleanu praised Hagi's talent but acknowledged that the 25-year-old may need a transfer to revitalize his career. He said, "Ioannis has exceptional talent, and we've relied on him in key moments. We are worried about his situation at Rangers, but hopefully, he can find the right environment, whether that's at Ibrox or elsewhere." Both clubs head into Thursday's match with plenty of off-field drama, adding extra spice to an already crucial Europa League clash. Rangers wanted to sign £20 million star in the making, but Biel got Sima instead. Glasgow Rangers manager Philippe Clement has seen several of his new signings settle in well over the past week, after 2 wins in 4 days. While the game showed the Ibrox side at both ends of the spectrum, against Malmo, Rangers looked impressive, though they struggled to finish their chances. Against Hibs on Sunday, however, the team appeared far more one-dimensional, scraping a hard-fought 3 points at Ibrox. Nedim Badrami has been a bright spark, recording a goal and an assist in just 4 matches to kick off his Rangers career. Naraisho Kasanwirjo also looks a promising addition, getting thrown straight in against Malmo in the Europa League and delivering a composed performance. While these signings may prove to be inspired, Clement did miss out on a few targets over the summer, notably Albion Romani and defender Jose Cordoba, both of whom would have bolstered the starting 18s. Still, it's not only Clement who missed out on key transfers during his time managing the club. Michael Biel brought in some decent players last summer, one of whom has turned out to be a standout after a successful loan spell. After losing Alfredo Morelos and Ryan Kent at the end of their contracts in the 2022-23 season, Biel had some big gaps to fill. In came Cyril Desires, Sam Lammers, and Danilo to try and plug the gaps. But none of them really looked like they were the answer, especially in the early part of the season. Biel did bring in Abdallah Sima on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. Initially, it seemed Sima would add depth to the squad, but the Senegalese winger became one of the most impressive performers last season. In terms of goal contributions, Sima managed 18 in 40 matches, with 16 goals and 2 assists across all competitions. This put him behind only Desers and James Tavernier in the club's goal-scoring charts for the season. In the Premiership alone, Sima created 2 big chances, averaged 0.8 key passes, and completed 1.2 dribbles per game, showing his attacking prowess. Often, he found himself in the right place at the right time. When the season ended, Sima returned to his parent club, but there were reports that Clement was keen to bring him back. It was suggested that Brighton might lower their asking price, with his contract due to expire soon, which gave Rangers hope. In the end, though, Sima joined French side Brest on loan, and Rangers missed out on re-signing him. It could have been different for Biel if he had secured another attacking target in the summer of 2023. Jack Clarke was linked with a move to Ibrox. Biel saw Clarke as an ideal signing to bolster his attack, and according to Football League World, Rangers were showing a strong interest in the winger alongside clubs like Burnley, Brentford, and Crystal Palace. During the 2022-23 season at Sunderland, Clark showcased why so many clubs were keen to sign him. Across 50 games, he scored 11 goals and provided 14 assists. Clark also created 7 big chances, averaged 1.7 key passes, and completed 2 dribbles per game, further highlighting his talents. It's no wonder his former manager, Tony Mowbray, heaped praise on him in 2022, saying, "Nobody can deny the talent he has when the ball is at his feet. How quick his feet are. And what a wonderful talent he is. And he's a joy to work with because he's such a happy-go-lucky lad. Sometimes I wish he'd be more serious, but that's because he's a real diamond, and we all love him." In the end, Clark chose to remain with Sunderland. Although they once again missed out on promotion to the Premier League, how much Jack Clark is worth now? After another productive season with Sunderland, newly promoted Ipswich Town made an offer for Clark that Sunderland simply couldn't refuse. Clark moved to Ipswich for an initial £15 million fee, with another £5 million in add-ons if certain conditions are met. Since his move, Clark has played 4 matches, and although he's yet to score, he's already provided an assist and is averaging 1.3 successful dribbles and 1 key pass per game. If Clark maintains the form he showed at Sunderland, he could be vital in helping Ipswich stay in the top flight, and his value could increase even more. In the end, Beale's missed opportunity with Clark is all the more glaring considering how much his value has soared since then. I'll be back with more bombastic and exclusive Rangers news at any moment. If you don't want to miss any, just hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, alright? We are the people.